Hey guys, this is Market Update. Some absolutely crazy moves happening. For once, not in crypto. Meme coins called gold and silver just going absolutely nuts. Look, I've been here before. I'll tell you a little story about that. For right now, I want to buy the best asset. I think Bitcoin is the best asset. So I want to always buy it when the narrative isn't here, when people are uninterested. I've been doing it for years and years at this point, always consistently buying what I think is the best asset when people are uninterested. And that has given me way better returns, even than gold and silver with the current moves in place. Bitcoin has outperformed them. They've had great moves, but they are not going to outperform over the long term. Bitcoin, right? It's literally impossible. These things are not scarce. In fact, if you look at the major asset classes, right, stocks, bonds, real estate, everything else, the only thing over the last 10 plus years that's basically gone sideways, despite rampant inflation, is commodities. And that's because they are not scarce, they're not desirable. There's an unlimited supply of them. They do not go up in value over the long term. But yeah, great tradable events if you're a trader, for sure. You can't trade Bitcoin right now because the thing is literally sideways, right? I mean, it's not even trading in a range. It is literally just sideways. The money, the hot money, everything else is not here. That's good for me. I don't want to buy things when all-time highs. In fact, if you buy Bitcoin when it's an all-time high, like if you bought it right here, the 4-year annual rate of return that you're getting on that is actually very, very poor because it's way above its trend and it's always going to pull back. So why are you buying gold and silver when they're just going absolutely nuts? Why are you buying it, right? If you haven't been buying this for like 5-10 years, because you like the asset, why are you buying it now when it's in some short covering blow off top, right? It's just going to end in tears, right? So look, I want to buy the best asset and I'm just going to buy it consistently and it's going to have periods of massive outperformance. We've literally gone up 500-600%. We pull back 30%. It doesn't matter, right? In fact, seeing gold and silver move trillions in market cap on a daily basis shows us just how small Bitcoin is. Right, you've got gold and silver moving entire Bitcoin market caps in hours. So Bitcoin has so much further to go. It has so much more inherent growth in it over 5-10 years, right? And so this is it. This is the asset. And this is actually how you invest, is being consistent, right? Not trading crazy things that are moving, just being consistent over time. And then you actually get your move. That's when you can actually take profits, when you get outperformance of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the asset for me. It is actually scarce. Now, I've got a discount for the course as well. 20% expires on the weekend. So if you want to know how to set up a portfolio just for long-term outperformance in crypto and in other assets as well, just so you can set up your portfolio, and then once you've set it and forget it, you can just get back to normal life. I'll link that in the description if you want a discount. I've seen this all before with commodities, right? Take gold out, which is a little bit different. Definitely a more money type of asset for certain cohorts, but for commodities, silver, copper, these things are absolutely not scarce. And the whole story that you always get told about commodities, it's the demand is going to be there from industry, and a lot of the large suppliers actually have contracts with mines or own the mines essentially, and own all of the production of that mine at certain costs that they fix. Right, so that's nonsense, and it's not they're going out into the free market on the London Metals Exchange and trying to just get copper for their solar panels, right, or silver for their solar panels, right? It doesn't work like that. And I've been here all before, right? I was a broker in the London Stock Exchange. London is an area where you raise money. A lot of companies raise money to go and dig stuff out of the ground, right? So they'll come to the London Stock Exchange. You'll get a small mining company, come to the London Stock Exchange. Look, we've got some, we bought some land rights in some country somewhere. We think we've got copper and silver and a few other things under there. We need the money to dig it out of the ground. So they come to the London Stock Exchange. As a broker, you need to sell this equity, right? Sell this paper. You give them money, they go and remove the trees and remove the topsoil. Then they come back to the broker and say, look, we've run out of money, but look how firm the prices are, right? I was in a broker at 2009, 2008, when, look right here, when you get the big run up in the silver price right here, right? So you get a ton of companies saying, look, we've got these land rights, we dig this out of the ground, silver prices, copper prices, they're really firm, going to make loads of money. Give us money to dig it out of the ground. So they do that. They come back, well, we've run out of money, we need more money to dig more out of the ground. So you give them more money. Then they run out again and they come back, and then the silver price goes off like 50%, right? So the silver price came down 60, 70% from there. So then they come back and said, we've run out of money, all the money you gave us, and also that thing that we're going to dig out the ground, it's gone down by 50 and 60%, and so it's just not commercial anymore. So sorry, all your equity's gone to zero because we're basically bankrupt. That's how the commodity cycle goes. So I've seen this all before, and I'm just not interested in it, right? I've seen these cycles. I've seen it in Bitcoin, right? These Bitcoin cycles where everyone just gets so excited when it's up here, which is literally the worst time to buy, because if you think Bitcoin has a growth rate of 30, 40, 50%. When you're buying up here, when it's so far above trend, your returns are not good. In fact, if you bought up here at the top last cycle, the kind of 4 or 5 year CAGR has been basically nothing, right? And that's because it was just way too high above its trend. You know, what are you buying here? Now, great trading opportunities, you know, but like these spikes, I mean, I've just seen it. I've just seen it before. I've been here before. I can't get excited about these commodities because if you look at any comparison of asset classes, commodities, stocks, bonds, real estate, right? The only thing that's gone sideways for the last 10 to 15 years is commodities because they're not scarce and the production is owned by manufacturers anyway, right? Like solar panel production is not, they're not going to the London Metals Exchange and just trying to buy, you know, silver on the open market, right? Like Samsung and the huge Chinese solar panel, right? They have supply from the mines, right? They agree supply, right? They take all of the supply at certain fixed prices. So they're not out on the metals exchange. I've been here before, got no interest in it whatsoever. What I'm interested in is digital capital as it proliferates. Gold and silver are moving trillions of dollars in hours like this, which is more than Bitcoin's market cap, right? So I'm actually more bullish on this thing. It's so small that we like just don't worry about the price action. 5-10 year time horizon, like buying at 100 or buying at 80, it's literally irrelevant. This thing can go 5-6x within a few months, right? We've seen it happen with much larger assets, gold and silver. So it actually makes me more bullish to think, wow, this is still so small and all of these prices are actually still so irrelevant. As long as you've got a decent time horizon, you know, 5-10 years looking out, this is it, right? If gold and silver can move like that, this thing can absolutely go because there is no production of it, right? That's the other thing, is that gold's supply of 2% more per year is exponential. It's 2% more this year on last year's production, which was 2% more than the year before, 2% more than the year before, and so on. It's not like a linear amount that we just mine 1 extra ton per year, 1 extra whatever it is. It's 2% exponentially higher. So, you know, over time, the scarce asset that acts as capital, I think is going to outperform. It has done for years and years, even with these massive moves. This is the asset. And the fact that it's sideways or people are out of the market is just fantastic for anyone that actually has a long-term time horizon because, you know, I don't want to be buying these big spikes any more than you do, right? I actually want these periods of underperformance because that's where, over the long term, you get the outperformance. These things, I'm sure they're going to spike even higher. It's just dangerous, right? It's dangerous. And I mean, I don't want to be owning them fundamentally. You've got to look fundamentally what you want to own. The best asset in the world is Bitcoin because it's actually scarce and it's just proliferating as capital. In fact, what is happening with Bitcoin as it's moving into TradFi, as it's becoming digital capital, as crypto is proliferating as well. And you can see it by the figures, right? The numbers, the TVL on Ethereum, what's happening, just slowly, more and more users, more and more TVL, more and more stablecoins, everything happening. And the prices is soft. It's actually a great opportunity, I think. I can't believe I'm actually old enough now to have physically been in one of these cycles before and have seen it play out like under the surface, like what happens. Everyone gets so excited about the commodities and eventually the price comes off and all of that money is just going to go to dust. The same as meme coins. I'm not saying silver and, you know, gold and meme coins, that's a bit of a joke, but if you're buying equity of a small mining firm, you know, that's taking copper out the ground at some expected price and the price falls 50%, that is literally a meme coin that's going to go to dust. I've physically seen it happen on the London Stock Exchange, a lot of those small companies. So I don't have to feel FOMO in metals and all of that. Great for trading for sure, but I don't have to feel FOMO because I think, you know, gold and silver moving trillions in market cap on a daily basis just means we're so early in Bitcoin. It just makes me so much more hopeful of the future as well, to think, wow, Bitcoin can just be so much bigger than this. Like worrying about 80K versus 90K, kind of missing the big picture, right? That this thing could literally just re-rate 5 or 10x at any point. And it can do that, right? It just can move into much bigger markets. It's going to take time, right? We're still so earlier. That's not why I'm so hopeful of Bitcoin as well, is we can just see the future. We can see the big markets it has to step into, and it's just slowly doing that over time. And that just is great for me to know that it can move into that. Whereas you're looking at gold and silver thinking, you know, I can't buy a parabolic move and then what, I'm going to like hold silver in the house or dig it in the garden, or right? It just, I'm just fully into Bitcoin. It makes me so hopeful of it. But the economy's in the US is doing okay, right? So jobless claims, 4-week average is coming down. You can see the productivity index is actually moving up. It's good for stocks as well. 4.4% GDP, Q3 last year. If you're looking at GDP expectations, 5.4%. They're running it hot. Gold and silver and copper and all of these industrial metals are forecasting this. Bitcoin and crypto, right, typically further out in the cycle, further out in the risk curve. You actually get commodities leading most of the time. That also makes me bullish about what's going to happen to stocks and crypto later on in the cycle, because we're seeing a potential huge economic expansion happening. Look at GDP potential in the States as well. Now, when I say economic expansion as well, I'm also saying money printing, right? Because economic expansion is money printing, because we're valuing everything in dollars. Economic expansion without money printing is actually deflationary, or it should be, right, for the most part, because if you have the same amount of money but more products and services, if you increase the supply of something with the same amount of money, those things could actually go down in price per unit. Look at the deflation that's happening in the US because of the supply side, right? Oil and gas is very, very cheap. Supply side is increasing, deregulation, and you're seeing massive deflation or disinflation in the States. Now, obviously, you can't have disinflation in a debt-based economy. So the whole point is they want to print tons of money on the other side of this to deflate the debt and increase the money supply. And that's what commodities are, potentially pricing in. They're just going through huge short covering, right? It's just crazy, the moves right now. But the fact that they're moving so much shows that we can have a huge economic expansion on the back end of this in terms of the PMIs, manufacturing indexes, crypto and Bitcoin much later. But I think it's good news, right? Look, the Fed can cut rates if inflation keeps coming down. This is Trueflation, which is much more accurate than the BLS, but they're taking the BLS weightings, and even the BLS weightings are showing inflation, CPI is 0.52%. So the Fed could easily cut rates and start printing money again to make sure that they inflate the economy and get things going and deflate the debt. Credit spreads also very tight, so not much to worry about. Of course, if these start spiking, not great, but nothing's happening right now. So let metals have their time, but GDP is going through the roof. They just need money printing in the States and bring rates down. We can wait for that, right? But we're just getting caught up over 80 or 90 or anything. Doesn't matter, right? This thing can re-rate a couple of 100% in a matter of months. If those big assets like silver and gold can do it, then Bitcoin as well. But I think fundamentally, it's just a much better story of this tiny asset that is just fundamentally better and is just slowly stepping into larger markets of capital. And we just have to be patient, but I think it outperforms everything over time. I'll also put the course discount link down below. I think the discount runs out this weekend. Just how to set up your investment portfolio, update the course for free forever for existing users as well. You get all of my updates right here. I'll link that down below in the description. Bybit deposit bonus down there as well. You can trade crypto and everything else, all the TradFi assets on Bybit at this point as well. I'll leave that link below. You can get a $30,000 deposit bonus. I'm James, this is Money GG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.